What's happening, crypto fam? Happy Wednesday. Good morning and welcome back to Love for Crypto. I'm Scott. It's a pleasure to have you here. I appreciate taking the time out to consume the content, so thank you. Shout out, as always, and again to DAI, Digital Asset Investor, for pushing the narrative. And he's done a few videos recently all about money. All the money. Great videos. The guy does good videos. The guy goes into information greatly. Also, I am Legion on Twitter. Shout out to you, my friend. He shared that recently on his Twitter page, which we covered quite a while ago, because it's quite an eye-opener from money to value. So, what I'm going to talk about this morning on this video, and this is not like beating down anyone who's put all the money. I just want to open people's eyes. It's not all the money. It's all the value. All the value. They're not building an internet of money. They're not building an internet of cash. They're not building an internet of fiat currencies. It's not what's being built. They're building an internet of value. It's all the value. I've got a little one here now, a little article here. It's only a couple of minute read. Let's go this one first. This is from Seville's. 10th of April 2017. So obviously in the last 3 years, the value's even changed. So you could we'll cross-reference this in a bit actually. I'm going to go live later on. I'm going to cross-reference this with how much, see if we can find some of the current values. But in early 2016, the Seville's World Research Team reported that global real estate values totaled 217 trillion. Our research this year shows that the figure has risen. Global asset price inflation has now increased the amount to 228 trillion. At constant prices, at an increase of 5% in real terms. So comparing the asset values, global real estate is now a more valuable asset class than all stocks, shares and security debts combined, which together amount to just 170 trillion US dollars. Oh, just 170 trillion, guys. The value of the gold, ever mined throughout history, pales into even greater insignificance at a mere 6.5 trillion, likely to have changed in the last 4 years. Real estate's high annual growth. Total world real estate values have grown by 5% over 2016. GDP at consistent prices grew by 2.3% in 2015 to 16. So the world's real estate asset value has grown faster than its income. This means that the world now owns, fucking my voice. Real estate assets worth 2.8 times its annual income. Annual income is GDP. The real estate asset to income ratio has increased from 2.7. However, total commercial real estate value grew faster at 7%. If you're going to invest in real estate, go commercial first, because better gains, I wish I had, but we need more capital because we know what to do. We just ain't got the pennies there to do it, bruh. You know what I mean? Total commercial real estate grew faster, 7% than residential. So we outperformed residential by 7% during the year. This asset price growth has been much more rapid than global bonds, 2%, but slower than global equities, which increased by a value of 9%. Residential, global real estate's annual growth. There's a lot. There's numbers we can crunch there in a bit because it is doing comparisons over the couple of years. So if we come back to this now, right, so how much money is in the world? Not a lot when you compare it to the value. So, ever wonder how much money there is in the world? The answer is complicated, which you might expect, but not because of the difficulty of tallying up the rather large numbers. Rather, it's more about which parameters are used to define the money. Define the money. What's money? What is money? Like, in your head now, think, what's money? I'll tell you what money is, right? Money was an easy way to exchange value, to liquidate things that weren't that valuable, things that couldn't be moved that easy. It was basically an IOU of the stores, of the stocks, of the commodities. The bank would have held a bit of gold. It gave you a piece of paper that I owe you a little bit of that gold if you'd ever want me to move it anywhere. The bank could give you a little IOU that's down for silver. I'll move you the silver if you ever want to move it anywhere. So money is there to liquidate illiquid value and to let us put our own unit of value on the items of value. So that's getting complicated now in most people's heads because they're like, well, why is money not valuable? And because money's the IOU, it's just a piece of paper. It's just a piece of paper, mate. You go and get a piece of paper. If I get a piece of paper now, but I, Scott Pratt, promise to pay Curtis Barlow the sum of £10 on demand and give it him, that's an IOU. So, Kurt, I'll pay you the tenner when you come and give me that back and need it, mate. That's what the bank issues in notes. But where's the £10? Where's the actual £10? The £10 note ain't the tenner. It's the IOU that the bank owes you £10. So money has just lost its value completely, in my opinion. It's legitimately just an IOU and to make illiquid value liquid. So, the amount of money that exists changes depending on how we define it. The more abstract definition of money we use, the higher the number is. Back in 2015, they did this infograph. It was recently updated it as money continues to take on different meaning. Are the abstractions created by central banks really money? What about gold, bitcoins, or other hard assets, he asks. For purists who believe money refers to only physical narrow money, i.e. banknotes, coins, and money deposited in saving and checkings account, the total is somewhere around $36 trillion. If you're looking at broad money, so the different kinds of monies. If you're looking at broad money, which isn't just physical money that includes any money held in easily accessible accounts, the number is 90.4 trillion. But for those referring to an even broader interpretation, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies, plus above ground gold supply and funds invested in various financial products like derivatives, the amount is in the quadrillions. What is the real value of it? What is the true value of XRP? People ask. Well, you can't even tell you what the true value on the planet is. There's not enough money in the world to buy everything of value in the world. There's not enough money in the world to buy all the XRPs in the end. It's the way it's gonna go. And I mean, 1 quadrillion. When you see the noughts on that bad boy, mate, I'm sorry, but buy some houses and cars with that. Funds invested in derivatives alone total at a minimum 544 trillion. And the high end estimates at 1.2 quadrillion. I'm going to read that again. Funds invested in derivatives alone, total at a minimum 544 trillion. And the high end estimate is 1.2 quadrillion. So let's put that in perspective. 1 quadrillion is 1,000 trillion. We've got 544 trillion to 1.2 quadrillion. That's not even 50% of that, guys. That's not even that 544 is not even 50%. How much money in the world, Bob? I don't know. Somewhere between 544 trillion and 1.2 quadrillion. If only we had some sort of blockchain ledger system that could just log it all down and we knew exactly what it was, eh? Well, there is some tech out like that at the moment, Bob, but we'll need a reset. And then it's probably going to need a financial crisis, lad. Economic reset, monetary policy, regulation reform, a lot of it, mate, legislation, you name it. Oh, we're going to need a full reset on that, lad. No one truly knows what all that's worth is the point. It could be 544 trillion, it could be 1.2 quadrillion. If it's 1.2 quadrillion and you're going to facilitate an internet of value through that amount of value and you're only bridge assets XRP, and it's got to be worth in market cap of the industry it's pushing, and it's pushing every industry, then by market cap, the internet of value needs to have bridge assets that value in the quadrillions, do they not? I mean, do they not? Do they not? You know, it's why it's not liquid at the moment is because you can't fucking move it as fast as you can move the cash. There's more money in derivatives than all the stock markets combined, which is comparatively a paltry 73. So it's only 73 trillion. Oh, just a little 73 trillion. This is ridiculous. We're not even got started into it yet. I'm going to cover it more live in a bit. Don't worry about that, guys. The US accounts for the biggest slice of that global market cap pie, thanks to companies like Apple Inc., Alphabet, and Microsoft Corp. Investment in commercial real estate, often the most visible symbol of wealth, pales in comparison to stocks for derivatives at 29 trillion. As for money owed by every single person and country in the world, the grand total is 215 trillion, with some 33% of it borrowed in the last decade. The world's in over 215 trillion debt. It's absolutely unbelievable. Oh, Bob! That new system! I was lending you to work, lad. We're still putting peeps in debt, aren't we? Yeah, it's all right. It's all they cared about, man. It's the debt and interest rates, mate. It's fucking crazy. Despite an explosive year for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as an asset class, crypto clearly has a long way to go. The value of Bitcoin in circulation is estimated in this graphic as 100 billion. Bitcoin's market cap is now over 160 billion. Right, so I'm out of the loop with price. So let me go coin market cap, because I wouldn't actually mind knowing what it is at the moment. This is one thing I'll check right now. And we'll excuse me, we will compare the rest in a bit live. So let me get this up. Market cap at the moment is 94 billion. So the crypto's dipped since the article. No surprise there. And it was at 160 billion when he was updating it. That's a staggering rise from the tiny dot Bitcoin represented on the 2015 version of the graphic, but it's back down to the dot now because it's back below 100 billion. But still, it's still a drop in the bucket. And I mean, like, that just ain't right. I can't even zoom in on the fucker. Because it's got like the richest people in the world, so that's going to need to be up on desktop, that. Almost definitely up on desktop. Save image. Starting download. Sorry about this, guys. I know you don't like watching people search for shit. File downloaded. Gallery. Can I view that, mate? No, not that one. That's not what I wanted. It's not what I wanted, mate. That is not what I wanted. Come on, man. Man. I won't let me look at it. I'll have to get it open on the desktop, but it's amazing to me how people think this is just about money. You think, oh, there's... You start talking about XRP being able to reach $1,000 and stuff like that. And people's actually like, oh, but is there enough money in the world for that? Is there enough money in the world for that? There's not even enough money in the world, right, to buy probably every pair of trainers, mate. And you want to have it right, there's probably just enough to buy every pair of trainers. And that depends on the value that's put on them. Obviously, some pair of trainers that are over £1,000 depending on the badge that's on them. Some pair of trainers only 20 quid. So if we pick a certain amount of value and average it off, count the amount of traders on the flaming planet, count your 90 trillion, including broad money, or if you was going to say how many trainers can you buy with the cash in the world, it's only 30 trillion. I know it's 30,000 billion, and that's a hell of a lot of pairs of trainers. But, like I say, there's billions of pairs of trainers on the planet. They're just trainers. Never mind socks, boxer shorts, knickers, bras, pants, watches, phones, TVs, houses, garages, fucking bags to go camping with. You know, it's everything has its own little bit of value to someone else. So the money, the internet, well, the difference is, right, at the moment, you need money to make something liquid, and it's hard to move and track stuff, right? What DLT is going to do straight away in the internet of value, it's going to make it easier to exchange value with anyone and anything and anywhere in the world. As long as you're on 5G on your phone and you can just go ping, you will then own a smart contract of whatever you've bought off someone else. The logistical side will come later. Not that IBM aren't already working on it now, but it will come a little bit later. But make no mistake, people keep questioning it too much. Like, you're going to be able to swap your house for something else of value like that in the end. You could swap your house for a car like that. You could drive past a house that's for sale in the 2030s, or maybe even towards the end of this decade. Drive past a house that's for sale, go and view it through some VR headset that's in the shed outside, decide you want the house, purchase it on your phone via blockchain and DLT, and then within minutes, not only do you have the smart contract and certificate of ownership for the house, but the key to the house is digital and it's sent to your phone. So your phone just lets you in. And I've said this before, and your house is just like, hello, Sky, welcome to your new home. Welcome to your new home, Sky. Would you like me to turn the lights on? Would you like me to, would you like the TV on? And I'm like, yeah, whack some Netflix on. I'm going to put the kettle on. Can you make a cappuccino yet, house? Make me a cappuccino. But you know what I'm getting at? Convenience always wins. So from the 80s to the 90s to the noughties to now, in the 20s, right? Convenience always wins. People go for the more convenient option. And when you're growing up in a world where the next generation simply just want to talk, to search, and they want to tell the lights to come on, and they want to tell the TV to come on, they don't want to type search, they don't want to mess about like we did. We got rid of the wires. We got rid of most of the wires. We've got wireless charging now. You go back into the 80s, try and tell someone you've got a mobile phone that's got the internet on it, smartphone, or even go back to 1992 and say it, mate. Just go and show them that. And be like, yo, you see where we've come? With these phone things. They'd be absolutely amazed. And it was all through convenience. It made it convenient. I mean, we used to have to go and find our friends. People remember that. People remember that. So you went to Danny's house, and Danny had knock on, and like, is Danny there? All right, James, Danny there. Nah, he's gone out with Dave. Right, so Dave came for them. Yeah, he's gone out with Dave. They went to Jimmy's. All right. Fucking, what you eat at Jimmy's? Get to Jimmy's. All right. Come on. Jimmy. Jimmy's dad answers the door. You're like, is Jimmy in? Nah, he went to Ryan's with Danny and Dave. Oh, for fuck's sake. No probs, Dave. Ryan in. No, I went to the park with Jimmy, Dave and Danny. Oh! Get to the park. Yes! Found you! I found you, boys! Only took me an hour. What's happening? That was every night after school. Now I could say to you, mate, I'll be at yours for about 4, be at yours for 5. But when they want, No mobile, mate. No mobile to go and find them. You couldn't like WhatsApp, yo, where are you? How easy is that now, yo, where are you? Sharing information like that, sharing data like that, yo, where are you? I'm here, boom, done. When people start realising how much the internet of data actually made the transferring of data and the convenience, it made the world smaller. Like the shipping container made the world smaller for trade. It really did. You understand how hard it was to get something from China to Central Europe before the shipping container. Yeah, they might have had trains, might have had horses, might have had carts and all that, but they was handballing it off with ropes, nets and chains, mate. Handballing it from one mode of transport to the next. And next thing the shipping container comes, and they just move the shipping container from the ship to the train to the truck to the yard, from the ship to the train to the truck to the yard, from the ship to the train to the truck to the yard. And the convenience, oh, it made the world smaller. Next thing we get's the internet and we get's email, and it makes the sharing of data easier and makes the world smaller again. I can talk to people in America and all over the gaff now, easy. I know people in Australia. Actually know people in Australia. I know people in America. I know some great people in Europe. Some of the community, so most 99.99% of the XRP community are amazing. Our whole community, everyone we interact with, is amazing. And I couldn't do that without the internet of data, which started off as an email. And it's built to this, me sat here with my own channel and everyone else being able to do their own channels and all that. So, internet of value, email, is cross-border payments. But people are too fixated on cross-border payments and what's happening with that. They're not thinking about cross-network exchange of value. Like a network that houses gold and precious metals, swapping value with a network that houses, smart contracts for the ownership of houses, and then to a network that's got smart contracts on the ownership of cars, and the one over there's got tree houses, and the one over there's got barbecues, and any one of them can swap value with any one of the other through interledger protocol and the internet of value. And then you can have platforms like IBM and VeChain to logistically track the item of value you've just purchased if you want it storing somewhere else than where it's stored at the moment. So if I have gold on me and I've got some stashed in a bank somewhere and I've got some in my house and I want to sell a bit and someone buys some, I can either sell what I've got, go meet them, give it them, send it them via blockchain on tracked parcel, or I could just let the bank send some what they've got, just be like, yeah, just buy it and let the algorithms do the work. This is where we will see stuff built on top of IoV and ILP, right? The layers allow it because they built it the same way as the internet was built. Just the same way that they went from email, they just went from email search and websites, as all the triangle was, email search and websites. Now you've got all sorts. We've got Google Maps, got search, we've got personal assistants, we've got all sorts happening. Yeah, smartphones, smart houses, smart cars on the way, the lot. The internet of value is going to be no different, guys. It's going to start off with you just making payments through your phone, but then it's going to come to your kitchen making its own payments as it uses all its electric and water and your bathroom. I've shown you this, I've told you this, it's all coming, it's all going to happen. It's just a matter of time, and they need to start with a banking system of cross-border payments first, because you need to start at the top. I'm afraid you have to start at the top and work your way down, but Ripple are positioned to attack the financial services and market at every single tier and every single level. They just need the banks on side, because even after 2018, said it the other day, everyone seems to still trust the banks. Oh, now it's the coronavirus's fault. It's not the bank's fault, this, is it? Yeah, this next recession is not the bank's fault. It's all because of that corona. Anywho, I'm going to come back on live in a bit and talk about this a little bit more. Again, Internet of Value, the agenda, fits the new playlist of what I do. So, yeah, it will be a lot more like digging in and just showing everyone the Internet of Value's coming. It's way bigger than your cross-border payment stuff. Not that the cross-border payment stuff isn't big, being a first step, but I'm telling you now, once we're over that step, which we should be by 2023, mate, this space will start moving. It will start moving. It will be like we're in 2004, getting ready for social media to just start going. Yeah, you get everything from Facebook to YouTube to Instagram, all of it coming out, all of it. That's what we're looking at seeing, Internet of Value post 2023, running up to 2030. I know a lot of you want to get rich quick, and hopefully you will. But concentrate on getting happier first. Hold the majority of your assets as a long-term hold, because I'm telling you, the longer you hold them and the longer you can wait, the more you're going to benefit. Choose good exit strategies. Don't sell, trade. Don't sell your XRP for cash. Exchange it for something you want of value. Swap a bit of it for a car. Swap a bit for a house. Do not swap it for cash unless you're desperate and have to pay for something. That's a different story. Wednesday, you're halfway through. Come middle of today, guys. Friday's approaching. The weekend. Again, I mean, they're shutting everywhere, aren't they? Everywhere's almost on lockdown. The ATMs are running out of cash. Trading's being stopped here and there. It's like Ice 9 without being Ice 9. When we talk about Ice 9 shutting down ATMs and making people stay at home, and there'd probably be riots. How the hell are they going to do it? Well, seems like they've done it, haven't they? They made the people want to do it. That's absolutely incredible. How a little virus can give them seemingly what they actually wanted and needed. But we'll see how it unfolds. Stay safe, guys. Wishing health and happiness to you and yours. Try and find a light in the darkness, because it is all we've got, regardless of everyone else trying to drag us down. It's good to make light of a shitty situation sometimes. You've just got to find a light in the darkness, find the hope, and carry on. Get happy and just enjoy the moment. Live in the moment and hope for the future. Don't spend too much time dwelling on what can be or what could have been. And live now. Yeah? And live long and hodl. Invest in the Internet of Value. Invest in yourself. Yeah? Get happy. Love crypto. Love XRP. And we love you. Peace.